Welcome to Snapshot on the Wireless, the show where we explore the fascinating world of photography and hear from brilliant minds behind the lens. I am Zukhanye Duda, and today we've got an exciting guest joining us. This week, we're thrilled to have Michael Sheehan with us. Michael is a very versatile and highly skilled photographer who specializes in real estate, sports, portrait, and product. And he even does corporate events. His work has earned him a recognition across several industries, and he's known for his ability to capture powerful moments, whether it's a high energy sports event or a professional corporate setting. So today we'll be chatting with him, and I am so excited. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Zukhanye.
How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Thank you. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, to start things off, could you tell us a bit about your journey into the photography world? How did you get started? What drew you to specializing a broad range of photography from real estate, sports, and corporate events?
Well, taking it right back to when I was about 21 years old, I was given a camera by my family for my birthday. Mm-hmm. And my brother was a bit of a photographer, and he was older than me. So I took an interest based on what I saw him do. And I went around, obviously, photographing back in the film days. And he used to do some of the developing. I never got my hands dirty with the developing side.
All right.
So I used to take mine to a lab to get done for me. And from there, it moved into the digital world. And from the digital world, it's just developed and, excuse the pun, it's just gotten a little bit more exciting, interesting. And today we're sitting in a world where the digital age has taken over.
Mm-hmm. All right. You've built a reputation in the photography world for your diverse portfolio. How do you approach each genre of photography differently?
Well, each event or each different type of photography, or genre, if you like to call it that, has their own set of rules, if I can call it. You've got, for example, if you go to a corporate event, they have their set of rules of what they want done. You get a brief, you've got to follow the brief, and through that brief, you can be a little bit creative. But obviously, you've got to get your brief completed first, and if you get the opportunity while you're shooting, you can get very creative.
All right.
You've got to look at different angles, different people. Some people like to be photographed. Some people don't like to be photographed. When you're looking at sporting events, you've got to watch the action. You've got to know the sport. Mm-hmm. If you don't know the sport, it's very difficult to anticipate what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So if you're going into for example, a rugby match, you've got to understand not necessarily the rules, but how the game flows. So at least you know when the guy passes the ball, where it's going to go. So you can follow the next player, and you can pick up the action from there, get your crowd shots, pick up a whole story behind the action.
All right. Your work spans a lot of different sectors: real estate, sports, portrait, and corporate events. How do you market yourself across these different industries, and how do you manage client expectations and in such a diverse fields?
Well, that's quite a difficult one to answer, but basically, I don't market myself.
All right.
I have been very fortunate in that I have had word of mouth referrals. People come to me as opposed to me having to go to them. The only marketing that I've really done is a bit of social media. When it comes to Instagram and Facebook, my website tells the biggest story because everything is on there. You can go and have a look at the diversity of my work, and you can get a good understanding of what I can and maybe what I can't do. So that's basically my picture out there. It's not a case of me going knocking on doors. I've never had to do that.
That's
even though it started off slow. I mean, photography, you don't make money overnight. It's a slow, hard slog. You've got to put the hours in.
Yes.
You've got to go about making sure that your quality is correct. Your client relationships are good. So going out there and expecting to make money from the day one is not necessarily going to happen.
Yes. All right. Now, Michael, I want to know, corporate events are often quite formal, but there's always a need to compelling stories through your shots. How do you balance professionalism with creativity in these types of shots?
In the corporate world, there's obviously certain things that the company would want from you.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into a situation, for example, you go to a conference. I'll use that as an example. Before you go to the conference, you get your brief. You go and scout the area, go and look at the rooms. For example, if you're at the boardwalk or whatever the case might be, you go and spy out the areas, go and see what's needed, go take a walk through with your client, make sure that you understand what they want. It's not about what they want from you, you want from them. It's what they want from you. So you make sure that you go through the brief and that you understand everything that they want. And while you're busy doing that, you can go and get a little bit creative.
Okay.
For example, you don't have to take a picture from a particular angle. You can take it from whatever angle. But just make sure that you do it in such a way that when the client gets those pictures back, that you show what they want to see.
All right.
So you can get creative, and from time to time, you get that kind of opportunity. You are able to sort of take a very low angle picture or a fuzzy picture through, all these funny angles that people like to look at, and you can get a slightly blurred picture to make it look a little bit fuzzy, or, whatever the case might be. You get that opportunity, but you've got to make sure that everything is clean, in focus, sharp, and that the client can see it. And when they use those pictures, that they are of good quality.
All right. With the rapid advancements in technology, how have you seen photography evolved over the years, and what changes have you embraced? And are there any new trends or tools you're excited about in the photography world?
Sure. That question can be answered, or should I say, I can take a long time to talk about that.
All right.
Because starting in the film industry or film era, you had one chance to take a photograph. Now you've got many chances to take a photograph. And you can also take that photograph today and you can send it within seconds to your client.
Yeah.
For example, I'll just use this as an example, sports photography. If I'm sitting on the side of a rugby match, I can photograph the players, I can caption them, I can edit them, and I can send them within 2 minutes to the client. So when I shoot, for example, an international rugby match here at the stadium, or soccer or cricket or whatever, within a few minutes of me capturing that picture, my client will have those pictures ready for the newspapers. Because I don't shoot for the newspapers as such, I shoot for the media house that sends it to the newspapers or allows the newspaper to draw from them. So, for example, Siya Kolisi running down the touchline with a ball in his hand and he scores a try. After he scored that try, within 3 minutes, I can have that picture ready for the newspapers to put on social media or whatever it is. So that's how far it's gone from taking a week to process a picture to now having it within 3 minutes. That's the digital era. You've also got the other side of things as well, which everybody is now getting so excited about, is the AI, whatever you want to call that, system.
Yes.
Because AI is actually, for me personally, this is my personal opinion, is quite dangerous. Because nobody's controlling it. Whenever you put something on social media, whatever it is, somebody's looking at that. And then AI takes hold of that, and then they can use that to create other work. So when you go into an AI program and you say to them, create me a lovely picture of a young child with a butterfly running through a field, they draw their information from what they've seen on other people's information. So AI is very, very dangerous as far as I'm concerned. It's wonderful to be able to have AI to edit your pictures, but it still needs to learn. AI doesn't have a mind of its own. It's got to be taught how to use the information that it's given. So AI has to learn from the pictures that you put out there, and then it eventually works out how you work and the way your workflow is, and then it edits your pictures for you. So there's a massive amount of advancement, of which some of it, I think, can be quite dangerous if it's not controlled.
The proper way.
the proper way.
All right. Now, I know that you've done quite a lot of sports photography, especially here in Gqeberha. You've covered the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Could you please take us through the entire journey and how was it for you?
The 2010 World Cup was probably the most exciting 2 months
It was.
in my photography career because it was non-stop action. From the time the stadium was built right through to after the last function that took place in 2011, we were busy. We were running around like crazy, capturing this moment, that moment, this function. The marketing, the municipality had a marketing campaign, which we used to go into the townships. We used to do activities. We used to do all sorts of things around that, and it was busy all the time. You unfortunately never got to meet the players. That was very much under wraps, but at least we were able to capture them while they were playing.
Yeah.
And that was exciting. There was a couple of functions that we had where there were some senior people like Seb Blatter from FIFA, etc., that we were able to interact with, etc. But it was busy. It was very, very busy, action-packed, and a good memory.
Yeah, valid. And it was a good year. It was very exciting for everyone. I can't imagine for you because you were up close and doing all those nice things. Otherwise, before I let you go, let's talk about the business side of photography. What advice would you give to photographers trying to break into the field and make a name for themselves? How do you handle the business side of things, pricing rather, contracts and other stuff?
Photography is quite a challenging business to be in because there's a lot of competition.
Yes.
In this industry, cheapest is not always the best. A lot of my clients have gone out and tried photographers that are a lot cheaper than myself, and they've come back to me. And they've said, no, we unfortunately made that mistake. So when you come into this industry, you've obviously got to be skilled. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know how your equipment works. You can't suddenly be in front of a client and suddenly your equipment dies and you don't know what to do. You've got to have backup.
Yeah,
You've got to have backup equipment. It's long hours. You've got to be able to work long hours, get up early in the morning, and if you have to work a whole day, maybe even edit at night. I know I spend a lot of hours at night editing, making sure my clients get their pictures quickly. I try and have a 24-hour turnaround time, which is hard to do. It's not always possible, but that's what I aim for. So you've got to be able to work hard. Your business ethics have to be good. You can't mess clients around. Keep your word. I think one of the big things that I see a lot of clients complain about is that the timeline in which people get photographs. Now, I know wedding photography is a bit different.
Yes.
Wedding photographers take a lot longer. I understand why. I've photographed weddings before, so I understand the process. But unfortunately, the corporate world, the sports world, even real estate, clients want their stuff quickly. So you've got to understand that this is not about you, it's about the client, and you've got to make sure that your turnaround time is quickly, your quality is good, and your pricing is right.
Yes.
There are photographers out there that are very expensive. Doesn't mean to say they're better than anybody else, but that's where they price themselves, and that's the route that they're going to take. I find with myself particularly, I try and be more of a value for money customer, photographer, so that the value that you're getting from me is equal to the amount of money that you're spending. I don't want people to turn around after and say, oh, that guy charged me so much and I only got X.
Yeah.
I want you to have good value for money for what you're going to pay for. And that's where I've priced myself. I've taken a long time to get there. I didn't understand in the beginning, but there are some guidelines out there in the industry as well. There's a company called Safria, which is the South African Freelancers Association. They have a website that you can go to and you can get an idea of pricing. Unfortunately, here in Gqeberha, we unfortunately are a lot lower than everybody else in the country. I don't understand why, but that's the way it is. So if you understand that and you know that, then you can go into the industry with an open mind and you can be able to give good service and also make sure that your pricing is value for money.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
My website is portelizabethphotographer.co.za, and I'm on social media under Michael Sheehan Photography. I'm Michael_photos on Instagram. I haven't done a lot of posting, I have to be honest. I've been a little bit on a back seat when it comes to social media.
All right.
But as I said earlier on in the interview, that people find me before I can find them.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
It's been
so
nice.
much. It's been a pleasure.
All right.